What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and today we are going to go over the patch that is finally coming. More specifically, I'm going to go over all the stuff that I could not talk about that is finally released, so they can't, get me. And two, anything that was not covered in that other video from before, especially this guy, because I have no idea who he is. He wasn't, he wasn't in the test server anywhere. We know who this is, but maybe this is his dad. I don't know. We'll figure it out, right? So first up is going to be Tarkus. Once I have him summoned and all that other good stuff, even if I don't summon him, I'll give you guys a guide on this guy. He's really good, and now you can finally see his weird little skill descriptions. I do apologize, they did not allow us to release that information. They just seemed like as though they were not 100% confident in showcasing these numbers. I can tell you that most of these numbers did not change from when I revealed them, quote unquote, say by say, whatever, but they're there now, so I guess there's nothing they can really say about it. But so pretty much his S1 does damage. Wow. His S1 does damage, and then it has a cone aspect to it. No, sorry, that's not the S1, the S3 that has the cone. The S1 does more damage to monsters, and then it also does like a fixed max HP damage to heroes. I've also saw that this did a decent amount of weird stuff in comparison to when you do like bosses advents, because those are heroes, not monsters. Monsters are more in the adventure mode, and there are heroes in the dungeons. So this max HP thing does a lot of damage. It does really good damage, and this is why I was saying, I think in some comments, that I really might hope to pull multiple copies of him, and it's probably just for the S1. I definitely want to see what happens to have a 35%. Oh, sorry, let me pump it up. All right, yeah, that's pretty good. 35% max HP damage on the S1. You're gonna see why in a little bit. The S2 is also a cone that removes buffs. That's pretty much what it does. S3 only is a cone if you have the craze buff. Well, you'll see how you get the craze buff in a second. And that's why I was kind of saying, oh, he's a crazy guy. I mean, he looks kind of crazy, but his voice and everything, you really get into that attitude of what he's actually like, that he's kind of insane. Yeah, as you can see, single target nuke, and then does additional damage in the cone to the target. So the target takes the 480, then he takes the 330, if he's crazed. So that's really a really good nuke, and the 330 also to the sides if he takes that. So really strong way of killing. But the killing is most important because the caster becomes crazed at the start of the battle. So he starts off with it, so you have access to this double damage single target to, and then the cone, right? But what's really important here is that when he gets a kill, he becomes crazed. That's what's really cool about that. You get this buff, and then you keep getting it as you keep killing, right? So it's really good. 40% chance to gain the same effect for the same amount of turns if you get attacked. So you have a 40% chance to become crazed if you get attacked. And of course, you have 70% increased damage when you are crazed. You take reduced damage. And guaranteed counterattack when you are not crazed. Keep that in mind. So this was actually the biggest thing for me, is that when he actually loses the craze buff, so let's say you hit a target, you kill it, and you get crazed or whatever, then the turns after that you're just chilling. So once you don't have the buff, you actually will take less damage, and then you will guarantee counterattack, which is again really important, especially when you go to the 60 passive, and then you'll see that you have a 100% chance to get your turn when you kill an enemy. Can't happen twice in a row. So you pretty much get a kill, you become crazed, you instantly get your turn, and then you have a 70% bonus attack bonus, damage bonus, sorry. So that's what's really cool about him. And it also works, I always try to do this every time, it also works when you get it on the counterattack, which he gets it for free. So being not crazed is also pretty good. Like, actually it's kind of weird, because I was like, I don't know if I always want the 40% to when I get attacked to become crazed, because I rather take the reduced damage and guarantee counterattacking to constantly do damage. And that's why I want to boost the S1 first, and that's actually what I would suggest. But as you can see, the it's pretty much a toss-up between the S1 and the S3. The S3, this is a massive amounts of damage, but definitely I would do S1, S3, S2 as far as leveling up. But that's what's crazy about this. And he also has a resolve. It's like, hey, you know, just chuck that in there, you know. And he's also immune to stun. So when I tell you guys that this guy is bananas and he's gonna be really, really good for Advent dungeons, you know, Advent dungeons, you know, those things, banner character coming out, you know, Advent coming out. But yeah, so he's gonna be really good for dungeons because he can't be stunned, and that's not just for, you know, Advent dungeons, you know, or random ones, but it's really good in general, and it's also gonna be good for PvP that he can't be stunned. It says stunned, so that still means he can be frozen, he can still be put to sleep, and you know, stuff like that. So, but at least he's immune to stun. He's immune to at least one abnormal status that you don't have to worry about, which I feel like more characters have stuns than they have freezes, like Bell and stuff like that, and sleeps. It's mostly stunned, so he can't be stunned. So it's really hard to bring this guy down and hold him down, you know, when he's popping off. And if he gets one kill, he instantaneously gets a turn, you know. That's what blows my mind about him. So you can S3, if you get a kill, you can get another turn and go again, you know, like, so it's just really, 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 really good, especially with some of these Advent dungeons with like actual like little guys. Like I want to use him in like Arachnia Advent dungeon because kill a spider, get another turn, you know, that just seems like a really, really good thing. And he kind of does it all by himself. He's taking less damage. He's a powerhouse by himself. So I don't want to spend all the time on just him, but guys, summon him. He's really good. He's definitely a premier busted character that you definitely want on your squad, regardless of Advent dungeons. If you don't get that, I swear to God. Next up is the Advent dungeon that is coming, which is Nina. She's going to be the new Apocalypse level difficulty. As you guys saw in the last video, I was able to show the first stage of the Advent dungeon, of this Advent dungeon. And yeah, she was pretty much, she's fire, but the first two stages showcased, who the heck were the first two? It was Aristo and May, and they were light and water like they normally are. So it makes me kind of scared to see the second stage and the third stage. Of course, I know what the second stage is, but I didn't want to go too far. I want to experience it possibly on video of what, you know, the third stage is, which is, I mean, she's gonna eventually come in, you know, but you know, sometimes the dungeons have ads, sometimes they don't. I have no idea, so I also couldn't pass the second stage, but we won't talk about that. What am I supposed to do? I'm used to my units, and you know, I got these new units and I don't know what the hell they do. So yeah, so now her information is also out in the open. So now you guys can see it. Pretty much her S1, pretty lackluster as far as it starts out, but then eventually it gets this lovely passive of inflicting additional damage when they have debuffs. You'll see here that her S2 leaves a debuff, which is reveal weakness. And also, when you max it out, remember, Nina is an Advent unit. So when you look at an Advent unit, you definitely look at them maxed out to completion. And this is a guaranteed crit. It is written dramatically weird. And I think maybe that was another reason, because when I kind of was in the video originally, I was like, this is not written correctly. It's written very weirdly. It says guaranteed to inflict critical damage equal to 320 attack to the target. Now, I feel like most people would be nice and be like, oh, that means that, you know, the attack is guaranteed to crit, which is what it should say. And it should just say inflicts damage equal to 320% of attack to one target, 80% chance to put reveal weakness for 2 turns. This attack is guaranteed to crit. That's what it should say, because this means, this technically could mean that even if you were to miss this attack on, like, let's say a Vila Phantasm, this attack should guarantee to inflict damage. But that's probably not what it means, guys. Just a heads up, it's not written that well, in my opinion. Yes, you can use your mega brains, but as far as when you're putting out information, you should be very, very, very you should be very, you know, like, strict on what, you know, how things are worded, because you could, and you guys can debate on me in the comment section, but could you not interpret this as saying that this means that you will do this damage regardless? They cannot dodge it. I mean, that would make the skill really good, would it not? You know, but I'm pretty sure it means that it's a guaranteed crit attack. It's the first time I think that they've added an attack that guarantees crit when it's used. But all they had to say is that it guarantees crit in a separate sentence, not in the same sentence when it's talking about how it deals damage. So yeah, just, you know, just being nice, I guess. The Rising Dragon Kick, which is the S3. it's pretty much, it's the same thing. It just goes up and down. Single target nuke also will do additional damage if the target has a debuff. And then, the S2 is the only debuff that she's packing. The reason why is you look at her passives and that she gets adrenaline, which is the speed boost when she gets a critical hit. So it's, as long as she's constantly critting, she'll constantly be getting more and more turns over and over and over and over again. That's kind of the point of her. 100% chance to apply 50% decreased counterattack chance for 2 target for 2 turns. This is pretty much like a nerf to a tank, pretty much. That's kind of how that would be looked at. And also increase the caster's critical strike damage by 100% when attacking a target with a debuff, aka the S2. S2 is on a relatively low cooldown, and once you max it out 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown move is phenomenal. And since once you do max this out, remember this is a 2-turn revolt weakness that your entire team will be able to take advantage of. So that is good. There's not that many characters. I think Christian has the reveal weakness, but there's not that many. I think Jacqueline has a reveal weakness if you lose a turn or something. Like, it's not that many ways to guarantee crit like that. So, and then you have Sarah, who also could benefit from that because she has like a crit reveal weakness kind of thing too. So guaranteeing crits, yeah, extra free damage. Also, this means that you're probably gonna run her on crit damage because she has so much built-in crit mechanics, which means you don't have to waste any resources on crit chance, So pretty good. Then you go down to her 60 passive. Grant, I was butchering this so bad. Adamantian or whatever. You get a buff pretty much at the start of the wave. It increases caster's damage taken from single target attacks. I think in the other build it said you do it for your whole team. So that is one of the changes that they did. So you take less damage from single attacks if you have that buff. Makes sense. Adamantian is like the, I don't know. I know it from like X-Men. Like, you take less damage if you're, because you're rock hard. I don't know. Rock hard, solid abs. I don't know. So, and you also have a 80% chance to remove one abnormal status. One guy did make a really good point here. Do you have to have this buff to remove one status? Or does it happen automatically? And this is with the whole power of the periods, where you put a period and where you don't. Because this is the same issue that I had with Cynthia. So I think when you look at the way Cynthia's stuff is worded, you would assume that you have 75%, I think it's like 50 or 75% to multi-strike and counterattack, but it's only when you're silenced. But the way that the sentences are worded, you really can't know that until you use the character. So we'll, I guess, have to see how that works. I'm assuming it's when she has the buff. Actually here I think it seems separate. I believe it to be separate. She just has an 80% chance to remove one abnormal status on her turn, most likely. Apply the status effect to apply her special buff to herself if she gets actually that even proves that that's actually proof that's how it works. So it's 80% chance when she doesn't have it, because it will apply the buff if it happens to remove an abnormal status. So that's how you clear that up right there. Bam. Next up, we're going to talk about Etna, and they didn't really change anything. I know that I think I have it here. Yeah, I have it here. They said that they changed stuff. We'll go into that later. Pretty much the S2 got a damage boost. That's pretty much the only thing that I can see, that her S2 does more damage. But what you really care about is the beautifulness that is her new passive in her awakened state. 80% chance to remove abnormal status from all enemies at the start of the turn. Increases attack by 50% if the caster has Etna's Revenge. So as you know, Etna's Revenge, it's 50% chance when she gets hit, right? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she gets it at the start of the wave, I know that. But yeah, every 50% chance to get hit, she gets an auto crit attack. And then when she gets the passive, she'll have English, the language of English. And then I can't fault them for like making wrong sentences in English when I can't speak the language, right? So yeah. Increases attack by 50% if the caster has Etna's Revenge. And also, this one was kind of crazy, ignores 70% of damage taken from all elements except when element. So the way that's written is nuts, because it says 70% damage taken from all elements unless it's wind. So it makes it seem as though she will just take a ridiculously not amount of damage. So the way I phrased it the way I phrased it before is that, let's say you took 100 damage, you ignore 70 of it, so you would just take 30. So like, it just seems like really insane damage like reductions. It makes her just like this really untankable force. But even if you were to want to use this in Nina's dungeon or any dungeon that's coming up, remember this is her last passive. You'd have to have awakened essences stacked to the brim to get this by the time the actual dungeon comes out. Or to use it in the new, not the new Nikita, the Nikita dungeon. And I mean, those are the 2 fire ones that are out right at the moment. So it's going to take a while to get to this, but she's going to be a force to awaken. She's going to be really difficult to actually kill. But it could also just mean that when she has Etna's Revenge, this happens, which is probably what it really means. But if it doesn't mean that, as you can tell by the way the sentence is phrased, it will be nuts. But I do think it's when she has Etna's Revenge. And Christina and ignore, yeah, it's probably when she has Etna's Revenge. But there's a 50% chance when you get attacked. So it's very often it's gonna be there. So yeah. But I have to go default to my boo. Ruby, who I do think got the better of the exchange. Of course, they said that they changed her skills in here as well. The only thing that I think that changed, I think, was a damage increase. Yes, here. The damage increase here on the second part of the S3. Ruby's now at max level will be 120 attack that ignores defense. Currently in the game, it's maxed out at 100. So just a little bit more ignore defense, additional damage on the S3. That's the only thing I can specifically see that changed. But her Awaken passive is nuts. All right, so check this out. 30% chance to make the caster's turn come next when attacking. So when it comes to multi-striking and counter-attacking, she has a 30% chance to just go again. This is insane because unlike Tarkus that had like only 2 turns, only you can't do it twice in a row. She actually can, so she can just keep going. And it's when attacking. It doesn't say like with a certain skill or in a certain turn or anything like that. So yep, she can just keep going. So you could technically counterattack with her and get the turn. It's nuts. It's so crazy. If there was anyone I wanted to talk about a lot in the other video, it was Ruby, because that is nuts. That is crazy. 100% chance to increase the caster's attack by 50% for 5 turns. Because obviously, she's going to be popping off, attacking, multi-attack. And she also gets an increased multi-strike chance for, she gets a multi-strike chance buff if her S3 is on cooldown, which, it decently will be. Obviously, you can keep it low by just doing don't do your S2 and just keep doing S1s and then S3 when it comes up. Of course, your own passive will be kind of screwing you over a little bit, but that's only when you take damage, right? Only when you take damage this one will pop off. So if you're the one that's attacking, you will keep your S3 on a lowest cooldown as possible. But still, even if you wanted to, you can just use it again and then boom, 40%. And then you can still run counter. So now counter is going to be huge on her to get that, proc that 30% chance as much as possible. Ruby is going to be a monster. It's going to be crazy because you got Etna. And then you have Ruby, and they've done a pretty good job with these awakens so far. I just really wish that they were this instead of the costumes. I'll say that all night and day. I really wish that they switched them around. I really do, because this could have been a special costume, and I'm happy that it's not. This is not $20 attached to a passive plus like some other random stuff to make it sweeten up the pot. They could have done that, but these are awakens, so I'm really happy about that. Other thing, let's talk about the other skills. Like I said, I was looking through this. I think they just boosted damage on the S2. They boost the ignore defense on her. For Sardick, I did look through his as well. The changes that they're doing here is that eventually it doesn't matter if the target is male or female. It will just have a decent chance to just charm the target. It has an 85% chance to charm the target, and then you have a chance to apply a rose crest to them, the whole aspect of his kit. And then they changed this now. Instead of, you still get the rose crest on all the enemies, but now instead of this blind to 3 targets, now you have a chance to optical illusion, which blind is like a chance to miss. Optical illusion, as we know, is you're going to miss. So abusing the David's new abnormal status to make Sardick a little bit better makes me think that maybe they're planning to do something with him in the future. Not exactly sure. It'd be nice because he's him and Lily are like the counterparts of each other, but giving him a boost, he's been in the game for so long and received pretty much no love whatsoever. And then as we can see here with the S3, Probably damage. I think this is just damage because the charm targets, if they have the roll crest, was the same thing. So I really honestly don't know, but I don't think anyone's gonna use them yet with all these awakens and all this other stuff. Maybe if they give him a skin, maybe he has a skin in the lines. Who knows? Now Claude, woof, Claude got some crazy stuff here. First of all, his S1 turns into a 4-target taunter, 2-taunt taunter if you max it out. So now I really want to max it out. Like I have been putting my Claude. I think I've been putting them into here to get the looming death thing to go up. But jeez. So next up, the S2, the damage you don't really care about. The sleep chance is what you really care about, right? And also the brand. So they just changed this brand that it goes up to a 50% brand. Same thing they did with David to give him a stronger damage, like to allow other people to do damage to that single target that you're trying to do. And it also can be a 3-turn brand, which is phenomenal. The final breath is the S3, as you guys all know. Don't think they really changed anything here. They probably maybe changed the little damage total that I can't really see. And you know, not much to talk about there, but the S1 change is ridiculous. That really brings it. And I know a lot of people that have Claudes that have that S1 max, so you guys should be fantastically happy. Amelia, the forgotten one. You know, everyone just, I feel like, has Amelia just because they want to do Lily's dungeon. I don't feel like they really cared too much about the character, so let's see what they changed about her. I didn't investigate too much into this one. So it looks like now they're adding some synergy with the engraving of protection, which isn't from her passive. If the caster, okay, so now if the caster has her passive up, then it will actually be a cone attack. Looks like they changed. Oh no, they added here. No, it's the same thing here. So yeah, this one now becomes like a cone if you have the engraving. The S2 is pretty much the same with the damage immunity. It will stun, has a higher chance to stun if they have well, actually not even higher. It gets the chance to stun, but it's also pretty high. Goes up to 100. Yes, goes up to 100. And now it can be a 3-turn stun. That's what I'm seeing here. So now it has the chance to be a 3-turn stun if it's maxed out. Pretty good. Let's see, what did they change on the S3? I'm like looking on my phone at the same time. I'm trying to match this up. Let's see, casting in 3 targets. And this looks like it's pretty much the same. Yeah, pretty much the same. Damage total 60. Yeah, everything I think looks like it's the same there. Obtains 2 engravings at the start of the turn. Let's check and see what that is. Obtains 1. No, it stacks up to 2. But they disappear at the end of the turn. Maybe they don't disappear at the end of the turn. Yeah, it looks like they may have changed that. Obtains 2 at the start of the wave. No, that's changed too. So yeah, she didn't get 2 when they started the wave. So that's a change. That is a change. 100% it changed 1 when you get attacked. That is that was still the same. If the caster has attack consumes 1 to decrease the damage taken by 30%, that is also a change. So and there's no attack boost one. Before you used 1, increase the hit and increase the attack when the caster has it, but now you don't get the attack boost anymore. At least I don't see it here anymore, right? So she has a chance to. She starts off with 2, uses 1 to lower the damage that she takes, but she doesn't get that 25% attack boost, which is kind of like the reason why you know she was nuking. But maybe they just wanted to be more sturdy of a character, I guess. You know, so and this is still the same. Does more damage to people that have shields and damage immunity. That's the same. Oh no, that is actually changed. That is completely changed. See, the old one is that increases damage dealt by 150 if the target has shields or damage immunity. But now it does 120, which seems lower, but it says for each enemy shield or damage immunity effect. So this probably means that when you're hitting in a cone, when you're doing these cones and these AoEs, that for each shield that these people have damage immunities, that she's going to do a lot of damage. So that's why. So she actually has a damage boost now with the 60 passive if there's a bunch of shields and damage immunities. That actually brings her really hard in line. That makes it want to see like what happens if you are fighting against Sid. He puts the shields or damage immunities and you just S3. Like that might do a same amount of damage the way it's written anyway, right? So who knows how it actually works, but hopefully we'll get to see. You Amelia players get some time to shine. All 0 of you. Yeah, I can't even go with the Grand Duke because I honestly don't know anything about him. I don't own the character, so yeah, you guys are gonna have to tell me what happened here. You guys can tell me what happened here. Yeah, they have this also changes. I was talking about this in my videos, but they didn't want me to show the skill description, so I couldn't really show this, that in there because you can't show the skill description. It's kind of hard to see it. But this is now cool because now you can hold down the skills and then touch that and then see what the skill does. So pretty good. A lot of other stuff is kind of stuff that was kind of talked about. Like there's not too much. Did I just see the Crunch Crush? I'm automatically mad. I'm just mad now. Oh, fix that. Use the helmet to apply defense. I swear to God, they need to take this out of the game. I don't want to see it ever. Or, you know what? I wouldn't mind it if we had the Crunch Crush, so we can defense crush enemies. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I personally wanted to talk about and discuss about the differences. They do have this. I would love to see where these are. I did show it in the video, but I didn't have it explained to this degree that you can pretty much have instant tier 6 tickets, because this is the way it says added the ability to enhance a hero to a certain tier at once. I don't know, but the way it's written, it almost seems as though you can just have a tier 6 one and just go from 1 to 6 immediately. I'm not exactly sure. It would kind of be a slightly annoying if you had to get the 1 to 2 to 3 and the 4 to 5. So let's say you have a 5, so you still had to do 1 through 4, and then you had the 5 for the instantaneous one. We'll see how they divide and give these out, because then the tier 6 ticket would be really hard to come by. But if you still have to do the rest of them, then they can pretty much give tier 6s out more spontaneously, not having to worry as much. So we'll see that. Same thing with the rune effect here. They're changing the multi-strike rune, which is pretty good. They're changing it to now it's 30%. And as you can see, some characters on multi, like I said before, Ashley with the awakening, that's definitely going to be, I definitely want to switch mine over to more multi-strike. So he just is at max every time. Yeah, velocity set now is 20% chance to get your skill 3 when you use your S1. Really good for counterattackers, multi-strikers. 30% chance to charm one random enemy when you use the S1. Really good. That is actually really good. I think a lot of PvP people will be looking forward to something like that. This one is nuts. 100% chance for multi-strike to inflict 50% additional damage. As you guys know, that is bananas, because you have obviously people like Tayo. Now you have Ashley, who's multi-striking like crazy, Damien multi-striking like crazy, and you should have your Ruby now multi-striking like crazy. So the amount of damage that's going to be coming out of certain characters with this new set bonus is going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts. They changed this. If there was anything they needed to change about the runes, was to put the other runes in the rune dungeon. Let's not focus too much on that. I'm just saying. Of course, we already know about the thing, the selling thing. I don't think I showed that. Did I show that? I think I did. Not too sure. Oh yeah, they buffed the special costume. Well, not special costume. I don't know what they said. It's this one with the Epic Quest costume. There we go. They buffed it. They actually buffed it. So now not only are you hiding when an ally gets hit with an ally, excluding the caster. Oh, that's a good change. Thank you, because he was hiding too, and it was like, dang, I really want to just kill him. So they did change that. Okay, so they changed it that, he would hide. Yes, they changed it so that now he himself cannot hide, but he will hide his allies. Still a little bit annoying, but at least you can eventually kill him so his passive doesn't affect anyone. Also, they changed it that a 50% chance to decrease all hidden allies at normal status duration for 1 turn, which actually means it helps him because, not only is he helping his allies with that, he also... I guess if someone can hide him, but I don't know if there's a way to hide him specifically. But yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, he actually can because he's a hybrid, so he can put hidden on his S3, stuff like that. But at least it's a little bit different. They buff Momo also. Before her passive, or this is her leader skill, sorry, was 50% at max at the final level 6 star, but now it's 60, so 10% increase for you Momo fans out there, because who doesn't want free 60% single target damage, And that's pretty much it. Taroni and Maya are going into the summon banner. I guess the event summon banner and stuff like that. And everything else is bam. So there it is for you guys. That is the new update that is coming into the game. It should be actually live now, or definitely by the time this video is edited and rendered. So let me know what you guys have been looking forward to. Let me know what you guys are excited about. Kind of happy about, the new characters, the new awakens, the changing skill descriptions without making them costumes. So everything's pretty good in the game so far. Just don't fuck it up, Netmarble. That's it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.